Hey babes, do not hire a trademark attorney until you have asked them these questions. Hey babes, welcome back to my channel. I'm Chantel Anise, and today on Legally Branded, we're going to be talking about what to ask your trademark attorney before hiring them. I have one question in particular that I want you all to ask them before hiring them, and that question is, what's included in your services? This is the most important question you can ask them, because I have seen so many people miss out on registering their trademarks because they did not ask this question. Now, some of the things that should be included, in my opinion, is the search, of course, filing and responding to your office action notice. Those should be like the bare minimum that is included in your pricing. Now, other things that can, which might be optional or might be an additional fee, should be monitoring as well as enforcing. But the first three should be included. Now, if they're not, you need to figure out how much additional pricing there will be to do so, because you might do end up with an office action notice, and you don't want to be surprised by the fees later on down the line. And yes, I do have a story time in regards to this, and I'm going to explain how it works and why it's important to figure out what's included. Now, I had an associate who I knew for quite some time. They was trademarking Rich Roots Studio. Listen to the date of when they was established. It was February the 14th, 2022. Mind you, 2022. Please pay attention to that date. So they filed their trademark. They filed their trademark first. They was at the finish line, almost at the finish line. They was up for publication. Well, publication is they publish your application and your name out to the public. The public have 30 days to file an opposition. And what the opposition is pretty much stating that you feel like this application is going to hinder your business in some type of way because y'all have similar names. So you'll file an opposition in hopes of blocking this trademark. Now, someone did file an opposition on her, and the company was Rich Roots. Mind you, they already had an application on file with the USPTO. However, they end up filing after applicant one, which is Rich Roots Studio. So we're gonna say applicant one and applicant two so that I won't get tongue-tied. So applicant one is Rich Roots Studio. They filed their application first, and they started since February the 14th, 2022. That's when they became in business. Now, applicant two, they didn't get into business until May the 2nd, 2023. And mind you, they did their application second. And then because they did it in second, their application was suspended due to the fact that someone have already started the application on the name. Because mind you, they both are pretty much similar. The only difference is Rich Roots Studio has 2 C's, whereas Rich Roots has only 1 C. But in the same sense, they're the same thing. Mind you, so applicant 2 went on and did a opposition. They filed an opposition. Now, this is where it gets tricky, and this is why I say it's very important to ask these questions, because guess what? Her attorney wanted more money. Yes, she had already paid her over $1,000. I would say probably $1,500. She paid her $1,500 to do the application, but she did not ask the important questions: what's included in these services. So when she got this opposition filed against her, her attorney said in order to respond to this office notice, well, not office notice, but this opposition, it would be an additional $2,000. Now, I'm not sure about you, but I don't just have $2,000 just sitting here, you know. I don't think a lot of people do, especially when they're just starting off, because typically people tend to do their trademarks when they first start their business. So to know that you just spent $1,500 with someone, and a couple of months later they're asking for $2,000 to $2,500 to respond to an opposition, you're kind of probably thrown back by that. So that's what happened. She didn't have the money. She had just moved to a new state. So all her money was put into moving into that new state and getting settled in. So because she didn't respond, the other lady was able to register her trademark, even though applicant one had everything needed and checked to be registered. She was established first. She did her application first. Everything was a green light except for her responding to the action notice. And what's crazy about it is she could have easily responded to it herself. However, her attorney did not let her know that. All she said was, in order for me to respond, you need X, Y, Z amount of money. And when she said, I don't have that, she was like, oh, well, that's that. She didn't give her any more options on what she can do to finish this process. She just washed her hands off with it and went about her business. And applicant one lost her trademark. And what's crazy about it is that name had meaning behind it to her, like it meant something. So she lost it, and the other person was able to register it. And as of today, it's registered for applicant two, who filed the trademark second and who started using it after her. So that's why I say it's very important to ask those questions, because I would be mad if I lost my name to someone who just started their business after me, just because I didn't ask the right questions. Now you also should include, you also should ask what's included in the pricing as well, not just the services, like the pricing, like how much is everything up front. Like, okay, what what are you offering as far as your trademark services? So if they say I'm gonna file it and that's it, ask them how much everything costs, so you can have in mind, okay, if I get hit with an office notice and it's $1,500, do I have $1,500 aside to put just in case I get it? Or if you do, you need to know to put this aside. So ask them a breakdown of what everything costs up front, so that you won't be surprised when you get hit with all these fees, because trademark is not always an easy thing. I have gotten with a lot of office notices myself, which I'm glad I was able to respond to. However, everyone doesn't have that privilege to be able to understand what they're asking for and to respond on their own. So the first question is, what's included in your services, and a breakdown of what's not included and the pricing for those services, so that you will not be blindsided. So those are the questions that I want you to ask. Oh, and another question is post-filing support. Are they able to give you post-filing support, which is pretty much like monitoring your trademark, also helping you to enforce trademarks? Like, are they able to offer that services? And if so, how much? You know, because we all need to monitor our trademarks once they are registered, because believe it or not, USPTO do not enforce trademarks. They register your trademark, but they do not enforce it. That is your job and your job only, unless you hire someone like an attorney to do so. Well, that was it. That's for that's the last thing I had to say in regards to this topic. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And I have more tea coming soon.